Hello, English learners. Welcome to English in Advance. I am your host, Jessica, and I am so happy that you have decided to join me today for a special session of learning and growing together. Today is going to be a very significant episode because we are not just learning a list of vocabulary words or memorizing a complicated grammar rule. Instead, we are going to talk about something much deeper and much more important for your journey to fluency. We're going to talk about how to train your English brain daily. We're going to explore simple yet powerful habits that will help you move from translating in your head to actually thinking and feeling in English. This is the secret that separates intermediate learners from advanced speakers. It is that magical moment when English stops feeling like a subject you study and starts feeling like a part of who you are. So get comfortable whether you are on your morning walk, driving your car, or relaxing at home with a cup of tea. Let us take a deep breath and prepare our minds to soak in some English. Have you ever felt that frustration when you want to say something in English, but the words just get stuck? You know what you want to say in your native language. The sentence is perfect in your head, but when you try to speak, it feels like there is a traffic jam in your mind. You are translating every single word. You are checking the grammar. You are worrying about the pronunciation. And by the time you are ready to speak, the moment has passed. If you have felt this, do not worry because it is completely normal. Every single language learner goes through this phase. The problem is not that you do not know enough words. The problem is that your brain is still wired to rely on your native language as a bridge. Today, we are going to burn that bridge. We want to build a direct connection between your thoughts and English. We want you to see a tree and immediately think tree without translating it first. This process takes time, but it is not impossible. It just requires daily training in the right habits. The first habit I want to introduce you to is something I call the art of narration. This is one of the most effective ways to switch your brain into English mode, and the best part is that you can do it anywhere and nobody has to hear you. The concept is very simple. You become the narrator of your own life. Imagine you are the main character in a movie or a documentary, and you have to describe everything you are doing as you are doing it. Let us practice this together right now. Think about your morning routine. Usually we go through our mornings on autopilot. We do not think about what we are doing. But starting tomorrow, I want you to wake up and immediately start narrating in your head, or even whispering out loud. You might say to yourself, "Okay, I am opening my eyes. It is morning. I am stretching my arms. I am pushing the blanket off. I am putting my feet on the floor. The floor feels cold. I am walking to the bathroom. I am picking up my toothbrush." Notice how simple those sentences are. They are not complicated. They are simple, present, continuous sentences describing exactly what is happening in the moment. This might seem too easy for you, especially if you are at a B1 or B2 level, but do not underestimate the power of this exercise. When you narrate your actions, you are connecting the physical movement and the physical object directly to the English word. You are bypassing your native language. When you touch the water and say the water is warm, you are creating a sensory memory. Your brain begins to associate the feeling of warmth with the English word warm. You can do this while you are cooking dinner, too. You can say, "I am chopping the onions. I am crying because the onions are strong. I am heating the oil in the pan. I am listening to the sound of the food cooking." This habit of narration keeps your brain active in English. It stops you from drifting back into your native language thoughts. It is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. At first, it will feel tiring. You might only be able to do it for 1 minute. That is completely fine. 1 minute of thinking in English is better than 0 minutes. Gradually, you will find that you can do it for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. You will start to find gaps in your vocabulary. You will try to describe something like a specific kitchen tool and realize you do not know the word for it. This is actually a great moment. Do not stop. Do not run to the dictionary immediately. Instead, try to describe it using words you do know. If you do not know the word for ladle, you can say, "I am using the big spoon to serve the soup." This skill of explaining around a word you do not know is a hallmark of fluency. It keeps the conversation flowing. Now let us move on to the second habit, which is all about your environment. We often think that to learn English, we need to go to an English-speaking country. While that helps, it is not the only way. You can create an immersion environment right where you are. Look around your room right now. What do you see? You probably see furniture, electronics, maybe some books or decorations. Your brain is used to labeling these items in your native language. We need to relabel your world. A fun way to do this is to play a game with yourself called the 5-second rule. Wherever you look, you have 5 seconds to name the object in English. Look at your window. Window. Look at the sky. Sky. Look at your shoes. Sneakers. If you see something and you cannot name it in English within 5 seconds, make a mental note or write it down to check later. This habit trains your speed. It forces your brain to retrieve English words quickly under a little bit of pressure. But immersion is not just about objects. It is about sound. Listening is the fuel for your speaking. If you want to speak natural English, you need to listen to natural English. That is why you are here, listening to this podcast, and I am so proud of you for that. But how you listen matters just as much as what you listen to. There is a difference between passive listening and active listening. Passive listening is when you have English playing in the background while you are washing the dishes or driving. You are not focusing on every word. You are just letting the rhythm and the melody of the language wash over you. This is good, and you should do this as much as possible. It helps your brain get used to the sounds of English. It helps with intonation and stress. However, passive listening alone is not enough to make you fluent. You also need active listening practice. Active listening is what we are doing right now. You are paying attention. You are processing the meaning. To take this to the next level, I want you to try a technique called shadowing. Shadowing is when you listen to a speaker and you repeat exactly what they say, almost at the same time as they say it. You are like a shadow following their voice. You match their speed. You match their emotion. You match their pauses. Let us try a very short example. I am going to say a sentence, and I want you to repeat it exactly as I say it, with the same feeling. Here is the sentence. I am so excited to learn English today. Now you say it. Try to copy the way my voice went up at the word excited. Try to copy the speed. Let us try one more. It is important to practice every single day. Did you hear how I emphasize the word important and the word every? When you shadow, you are not just learning words. You are learning the music of English. English is a stress-timed language, which means the rhythm comes from the stress syllables. If you speak with a flat, robotic tone, native speakers might have trouble understanding you even if your grammar is perfect. Shadowing helps you sound human. It helps you sound natural. Let us talk about the emotional side of learning. Many students treat English like a math problem to be solved. They analyze the structure and they memorize the formulas. But language is not math. Language is emotion. Language is connection. If you want to remember vocabulary, you need to attach emotion to it. Think about a time you were really happy. Maybe it was your birthday, or maybe you got a promotion at work. Now try to describe that memory in English. When you talk about things that matter to you, your brain releases chemicals that help lock that information into your long-term memory. Do not just learn the word for sad. Talk about a movie that made you cry. Do not just learn the word for delicious. Describe your favorite meal that your grandmother used to cook. When you make English personal, it becomes permanent. Another powerful habit for training your English brain is to change the way you consume entertainment. We all love to scroll through social media or watch videos on YouTube. Usually we do this in our native language because it is easy and relaxing. But this is a huge opportunity for learning. I want you to challenge yourself to switch just 20% of your daily content consumption into English. If you love cooking, follow English-speaking chefs. If you love football, follow English commentary. The key here is to watch content that you genuinely enjoy. Do not watch boring grammar lessons all day. Watch things that interest you. When you are interested, you forget that you are learning. You are just enjoying the content. Your brain is relaxed, and when your brain is relaxed, it absorbs information much faster. You will start to pick up slang and idioms and cultural references naturally, without even trying. Let us address a very common fear, the fear of making mistakes. This fear is the biggest wall standing between you and fluency. Many learners are perfectionists. They feel that if they cannot say a sentence perfectly, they should not say it at all. This mindset will keep you stuck. You have to embrace the messiness of learning. You have to be willing to sound a little bit foolish sometimes. Every mistake is a stepping stone. When you make a mistake, it means you are trying. It means you are pushing the boundaries of what you know. If you never make mistakes, it means you are only using the English you already know perfectly, which means you are not growing. So make mistakes, and make them proudly. Laugh at yourself. If you use the wrong word, just smile and correct yourself. Native speakers make mistakes too. We stumble over our words. We forget what we were saying. It is a human thing, not just a learner thing. Now I want to talk about the power of questions. In conversation, we often worry about what we are going to say next. We get anxious about answering. But a great way to participate in a conversation without the pressure of speaking perfectly is to become a master of asking questions. Questions are the key that unlocks communication. If you are talking to someone, ask them questions using the 5 W's: who, what, where, when, and why. If someone says they went to the cinema, ask them, what did you see? Was it good? Who is the actor? This keeps the conversation going and it gives you more listening practice. It also makes you a great conversationalist because people love talking about themselves. By asking questions, you are controlling the flow of the conversation and buying yourself time to think. Let us go back to the idea of thinking in English. A great time to practice this is right before you go to sleep. The day is over and you are lying in bed. Instead of worrying about tomorrow in your native language, try to review your day in English. Replay the events of the day like a movie. First, I woke up and had coffee. Then I took the bus to work. The bus was crowded. I had a meeting with my boss. It went well. Then I came home and cooked dinner. This nightly review helps you process your day, and it signals to your brain that English is the last thing you think about before you sleep. Scientists say that what we think about right before sleep is often what our brains process during the night. So by thinking in English before bed, you might actually dream in English. And dreaming in English is a huge milestone. It means your subconscious mind is starting to accept the language. As we continue this journey, I want to remind you that consistency is more important than intensity. It is better to practice for 15 minutes every single day than to study for 5 hours once a week. Your brain needs that daily exposure. It is like watering a plant. You cannot dump a whole bucket of water on a plant once a month and expect it to survive. It needs a little bit of water every day. The same is true for your English. Make these habits small and manageable. Do not overwhelm yourself. If you miss a day, do not beat yourself up. Just start again the next day. The journey to fluency is not a straight line. It has ups and downs. There will be days when you feel like you are not making progress. There will be days when you feel like you have forgotten everything. That is just an illusion. Deep down, your brain is building new connections. Trust the process. Let us dig a little deeper into the concept of visualization. Athletes use visualization to improve their performance. They close their eyes and imagine themselves running the race or scoring the goal. You can do the same with English. Visualize yourself having a fluent conversation. Close your eyes and imagine you are sitting in a coffee shop in London or New York or Sydney. Imagine ordering coffee. Imagine the barista asking you a question and you answering smoothly and confidently. Imagine the feeling of pride and ease. This mental rehearsal prepares your brain for reality. When you actually find yourself in that situation, your brain will feel like it has been there before. It reduces anxiety and boosts confidence. Another practical tip is to change the language settings on your phone and your computer. We spend so much time looking at screens. If your phone is in English, you will be forced to learn words like settings, notifications, privacy, display, and storage. These are useful words. At first, it might be annoying because you cannot find what you are looking for. But after a few days, it will become second nature. You will navigate your phone in English without even thinking about it. This is a form of forced immersion. It is a small change that has a big impact over time. Reading is also a fantastic way to train your brain, but you need to read the right level. If you try to read a complex novel from the 19th century, you will likely get frustrated and give up. Read things that are designed for your level or slightly above. Graded readers are excellent for this. They are books that have been simplified for language learners. You can enjoy the story without stopping every 2 seconds to look up a word. When you read, try not to translate. Try to visualize the scene. If the sentence says the red car drove fast down the street, do not translate the words red car. Just see a red car in your mind. See the movement. Connect the text to the image. Let us talk about the connection between your body and your voice. Speaking is a physical act. It involves your tongue, your lips, your jaw, and your breath. English might require you to use muscles in your mouth that you do not use in your native language. For example, the TH sound in English requires you to stick your tongue out a little bit between your teeth. This might feel strange or unnatural to you. You might feel silly doing it. but you have to train those muscles. A great exercise is to do tongue twisters. These are phrases that are difficult to say quickly. For example, try saying, "She sells seashells by the seashore." It is hard even for native speakers. But it forces your mouth to move in new ways. It improves your pronunciation and your articulation. Do it in front of a mirror. Watch your mouth. Does it look the same as a native speaker's mouth? This physical awareness is key to clear pronunciation. I also want to encourage you to record yourself. I know most people hate the sound of their own voice. It makes us cringe. But recording yourself is one of the honest feedback tools you have. Pick a short paragraph or a few sentences from this podcast. Record yourself saying them. Then listen to the recording and compare it to my voice. Where is the difference? Is it the speed? Is it the vowel sounds? Is it the intonation? Be a detective. Analyze your own speech. You will notice things in the recording that you did not notice while you were speaking. This self-correction is very powerful. You can do this once a week to track your progress. Keep your old recordings. In 6 months, listen to your first recording. You will be amazed at how much you have improved. It will give you a huge motivation boost. Writing is another way to train your brain to think in English. But I do not mean writing essays. I mean journaling. Keep a simple English journal. Every day write down 3 things you are grateful for or 3 things that happened during the day. Do not worry about grammar. Just get your thoughts on paper. Writing gives you time that speaking does not. When you write, you have time to find the right word. You have time to construct the sentence. This slows down the thinking process and helps you cement the patterns of the language. Over time, the sentences you write will become the sentences you speak. If you write, "I am looking forward to the weekend," enough times eventually it will roll off your tongue naturally in conversation. Let us discuss the concept of collocations. Collocations are words that naturally go together. Native speakers do not just learn individual words. We learn chunks of language. For example, we say, "make a mistake, not do a mistake." We say, "have a shower, not make a shower." We say, "fast food, not quick food." Learning these chunks will make you sound much more fluent. When you learn a new word, look at the words around it. Do not just learn the word homework. Learn the phrase do homework. Do not just learn the word decision. Learn the phrase make a decision. When you speak in chunks, your brain has less work to do. Instead of assembling a sentence word by word like a puzzle, you are slotting in pre-made blocks. This increases your speaking speed and reduces the translation lag. Now, I want to take a moment to talk about patience. We live in a world of instant gratification. We want everything now. We want to lose weight in a week. We want to get rich in a month. And we want to learn English in 3 months. But language learning is a marathon, not a sprint. It is a lifelong journey. There is no finish line. Even native speakers are still learning new words and new ways of expressing themselves. So relax, enjoy the ride, celebrate the small victories. Did you understand a joke in a movie today? Celebrate that. Did you order food without stuttering? Celebrate that. These small wins add up. If you focus only on how far you have to go, you will get discouraged. Focus on how far you have come. Think about why you are learning English. Is it for a better job? Is it to travel? Is it to make new friends? Is it to understand the culture? Keep that motivation clear in your mind. Write it down and put it somewhere you can see it. When you feel tired or lazy, look at your reason why. It will give you the energy to keep going. English is a tool that opens doors. It connects you to billions of people around the world. It gives you access to knowledge and entertainment and opportunities. It is a gift you are giving to yourself. Let us practice another listening exercise together. I'm going to tell you a short story. I want you to close your eyes if you can and just imagine the movie in your head. Do not try to translate, just visualize. Here is the story. It was a rainy Tuesday afternoon. Sarah was sitting in a cafe by the window. She had a hot cup of chocolate in her hands. The steam was rising from the cup. She looked outside at the people running with their umbrellas. Suddenly, she saw a small dog standing alone in the rain. The dog looked wet and cold. Sarah felt sad for the dog. She put down her cup and stood up. She walked to the door of the cafe and opened it. She whistled and the little dog ran towards her, wagging its tail. Sarah smiled. Did you see the picture? Did you see the rain? Did you smell the hot chocolate? Did you feel the emotion when she saw the dog? That is thinking in English. You were processing the meaning directly into images and feelings. If you understood that story, you are doing an amazing job. It shows that your listening skills are strong. You just need to keep refining them. As we continue our deep dive, I want to take you even deeper. We are going to explore the intermediate plateau and how to break through it using specific mental exercises that change how you perceive the world around you. Many learners reach a point where they feel stuck. You know the basics. You can order food. You can have a simple conversation, but you feel like you are not improving anymore. This is called the intermediate plateau. It is a very dangerous place because it is comfortable. You know enough to survive, but not enough to thrive. To leave this plateau, we need to change how you process information. We need to move from passive understanding to active creation. Let us start with a new habit called the people-watching game. This is a fantastic way to improve your descriptive vocabulary and your ability to form complex sentences quickly. Next time you are in a public place like a park or a coffee shop or a train station, I want you to look at a stranger. Do not stare at them, just glance at them. Then, in your mind, I want you to build a character profile for them. Start with their appearance. He is wearing a blue jacket and gray trousers. He has short hair and he looks tired. Now go deeper. Use your imagination. Why is he tired? Maybe he worked a long shift at the hospital. Maybe he has a new baby at home who did not sleep last night. Where is he going? He is holding a bouquet of flowers, so maybe he is going to visit his mother, or maybe he is going on a date. Do you see what we are doing here? We are taking a simple visual image and we are weaving a story around it. This forces your brain to access vocabulary related to emotions, relationships, jobs, and daily routines. It forces you to use modal verbs like maybe, might, and could. You are practicing probability. You might think he could be a doctor or he might be a teacher. This is much more engaging than filling out a grammar worksheet. It makes English alive. It turns the world around you into your personal classroom. Now, I want to talk about the concept of fillers. In every language we use sounds to fill the silence while we are thinking. In your native language, you have specific sounds you make when you are searching for a word. When you speak English, if you use your native filler sounds, it immediately breaks the flow. It signals to your brain that you are not in English mode. One of the simplest ways to sound more fluent and to keep your brain in English is to learn English fillers. Words like, well, actually, and let me see. Let us practice this. Imagine someone asks you a difficult question like, "What do you think about the economy?" Instead of sitting there in silence or making a sound from your native language, try saying, "Well, that is a clear, interesting question. Let me think about that for a second." That simple phrase buys you time. It gives your brain 5 seconds to organize your thoughts, and it makes you sound completely natural. Native speakers do this all the time. We do not have the perfect answer ready instantly. We use these bridge words to connect our thoughts. So start practicing these. When you are narrating your morning routine and you forget a word, say, "Let me see, what is this called again?" Even talking to yourself with fillers keeps the rhythm of English going. Another powerful tool for training your brain is to focus on phrasal verbs. I know students hate phrasal verbs. They seem random and confusing. Why do we say give up and give in and give away? They all mean different things. But instead of memorizing them from a list, try to visualize the direction of the particle. Let us look at the word up. Up usually means movement towards a higher position, but in phrasal verbs, it often means completion or finishing something completely. Think of cleaning. If you clean the kitchen, you are washing it. But if you clean up the kitchen, you are doing it completely until it is finished. Think of eating. If you eat the apple, you are consuming it. If you eat up the apple, you finish every single bite. When you start to see the logic behind the prepositions, they become easier to remember. Let us try another mental exercise involving your hearing. We often rely too much on our eyes when learning languages. We read textbooks, we read subtitles, but we need to train our ears to be independent. Close your eyes for a moment and listen to the sounds around you right now. Maybe you hear a car driving by. Maybe you hear a clock ticking. Maybe you hear the wind. In your head, name the source of the sound. I hear a car. Now describe the sound. Is it a loud car? Is it a fast car? Is it moving away from you or coming towards you? The car is zooming past. The engine is roaring. This is called sensory description. It connects the auditory part of your brain to the language center. It helps you react faster in conversation because you are training your brain to label sensory input instantly. Now, I want to address the topic of translation again, but from a different angle. Sometimes translation is necessary, especially in the beginning. But the problem arises when you translate word for word. English and your native language likely have different sentence structures. If you translate word for word, you will sound strange. Instead of translating words, I want you to practice translating ideas. Read a short article in your native language. Then put the article away. Do not look at it. Now try to summarize the main idea of that article in English. Do not try to translate the specific sentences. Just explain the concept. This forces you to detach the meaning from the original words and reassemble it using your English tools. It is a very high-level skill called paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is actually more important than having a huge vocabulary. You will never know every single word in English. Even I do not know every word in English. There will be times when you forget a word. If you rely on translation, you will get stuck. But if you know how to paraphrase, you can explain what you mean. If you forget the word for umbrella, you can say the thing we use to protect ourselves from rain. If you forget the word for wallet, you can say the small case where I keep my money and cards. This is fluency. Fluency is not knowing everything. Fluency is being able to handle any situation even when you do not know the specific word. Practice this daily. Pick an object in your room and try to describe it without saying its name. It is a fun game, and it builds immense confidence. Let us talk about the rhythm of English and the schwa sound. You might have heard about the schwa. It is the most common sound in English. It sounds like It is a very short, weak sound. In English, we do not pronounce every vowel clearly. In a word like banana, we do not say ba-na-na. We say bu-na-nu. The first and last A become schwas. They are weak. Only the middle A is strong. Using the schwa is the secret to understanding native speakers. Learners often complain that native speakers speak too fast. But often, we are not speaking fast, we are just using schwas. We are crushing the unimportant words. Listen to this sentence. I am going to the store. A native speaker might say, I'm going to go to the store. The word to becomes to. The word for becomes fur. If you try to pronounce every word perfectly clearly, you will sound robotic. To train your brain for this, you need to stop trusting the spelling. English spelling is crazy. It does not always match the sound. You need to trust your ears. When you learn a new word, listen to it first before you look at how it is written. If you see the writing first, your brain will try to pronounce it using the rules of your native language. If you listen first, you capture the true sound. Let us move on to a topic that is very close to my heart, which is kindness to yourself. Learning a language is an act of bravery. You are stepping out of your comfort zone. You are risking embarrassment. It is easy to get frustrated and say, I am so stupid. Why can I not remember this? But negative self-talk shuts down the learning centers of your brain. When you are stressed, your brain goes into survival mode and it cannot absorb new information. You need to relax to learn. Treat yourself like a child who is learning to walk. You would not yell at a baby for falling down. You would clap and encourage them to get up. Be your own best cheerleader. When you struggle with a sentence, take a deep breath and say, it is okay, I am learning. I will get it next time. Now let us explore the concept of micro goals. We often set huge goals like, I want to be fluent by next year. That is a great ambition, but it is too big to manage on a daily basis. You need micro goals. A micro goal is something small and specific that you can achieve in 10 minutes. For example, today my goal is to learn 5 words related to gardening. Or today my goal is to listen to one song and understand the chorus. When you achieve a micro goal, you get a hit of dopamine. You feel successful. Success breeds more success. If you stack these small wins day after day, you will look back in a year and realize you have climbed a mountain. Let us practice a micro goal right now. Let us focus on adjectives for describing personality. We all know words like nice and bad, but these are boring words. Let us upgrade your vocabulary. Instead of nice, let us use thoughtful. Someone who thinks about others. Instead of bad, let us use rude or dishonest. Think of a person you know well, maybe your best friend. How would you describe them? Are they ambitious? Are they funny? Are they reliable? Reliable means you can trust them to do what they say. Try to make a sentence right now about your friend using the word reliable. My friend John is very reliable because he always arrives on time. By connecting the new word to a real person, you anchor it in your memory. Another fantastic way to immerse yourself is to change your internal monologue during specific tasks. Let us take cooking as an example again because it is something we do every day. Turn your kitchen into an English zone. From the moment you step into the kitchen, commit to only thinking in English. Look at the ingredients. I have garlic, I have olive oil, I have pasta, I am boiling the water is bubbling, I am stirring the sauce. The smell is amazing. If you live with family, tell them that for the next 30 minutes you are practicing English. Maybe they can join in. Teaching someone else is actually one of the best ways to learn. If you can explain a word to your child or your partner, it proves that you really understand it. Let us talk about the power of imitation. When we were children, we learned our native language by imitating our parents. We copied their facial expressions and their tone of voice. As adults, we stop doing this because we feel silly. But to speak English well, you need to act a little bit. You need to adopt an English persona. When I speak Spanish, I feel like a slightly different person than when I speak English. My voice changes a little. My hand gestures change. This is normal. Try to find a famous English speaker whose voice you like, maybe an actor or a news presenter. Watch a video of them and try to become them. Stand like them. Speak like them. It is acting. When you act, you lower your inhibitions. You stop worrying about being you and you start focusing on the performance. This can liberate your speaking. Now I want to touch on the difference between active vocabulary and passive vocabulary. Passive vocabulary includes all the words you understand when you read or listen. Active vocabulary includes the words you can actually use in a sentence. Your passive vocabulary will always be larger than your active vocabulary. That is natural. Do not stress if you can read a book but cannot speak with the same level of complexity. To move words from passive to active, you need to use them. When you learn a new word, write it on a sticky note and put it on your bathroom mirror. Every time you brush your teeth, use that word in a sentence. Say it out loud. Do this for 3 days. After 3 days, that word will likely be in your active memory. Then replace the note with a new word. If you do this with just 2 words a week, you will add over 100 strong active words to your vocabulary in a year. Let us discuss the importance of culture. Language and culture are inseparable. To understand English deeply, you need to understand the culture of English-speaking countries. For example, in British and American culture, we use a lot of polite language. We rarely say, "Give me the salt." That sounds too direct and rude. We say, "Could you pass the salt, please?" Or "Would you mind passing the salt?" We use modal verbs to soften our requests. If you translate directly from a language that is more direct, you might sound aggressive without meaning to. Pay attention to how characters in movies ask for things. Notice how often they say, "Please, thank you, and sorry." Incorporating these softeners will make you sound much more fluent and socially aware. I want to give you a challenge for the next week. It is called the Summary Challenge. Every night before you go to sleep, I want you to summarize one piece of content you consume that day. It could be a news article, a YouTube video, or even a conversation you had. Explain it to an imaginary friend. Say something like, "Today I read an article about space travel. It said that scientists are planning a mission to Mars. It was very interesting because they talked about the challenges of living on another planet." This exercise forces you to recall information and organize it logically in English. It strengthens the connection between your short-term memory and your language production. Let us go back to the idea of English as a tool. Think about your hobbies. Do you like photography? Do you like knitting? Do you like coding? Whatever your hobby is, start consuming content about it in English. This is the path of least resistance. You already love the topic, so you will be motivated to understand. If you love photography, watch a review of a new camera in English. You will learn technical vocabulary that is relevant to you. You will learn words like aperture, shutter speed, and lighting. These words are useful for you because they relate to your passion. You do not need to learn vocabulary that you will never use. If you are not a doctor, you do not need to learn the names of every bone in the body. Focus on what is relevant to your life. Let us practice another visualization. I want you to imagine you are at a job interview. This is a situation that makes everyone nervous. But in this visualization, you are calm. You are prepared. The interviewer asks you, "Tell me about yourself." Visualize yourself smiling. Visualize yourself answering clearly. My name is Jessica, and I have 5 years of experience in marketing. I am a creative person who loves solving problems. Hear the words coming out of your mouth. Feel the confidence in your posture. By mentally rehearsing this scenario, you are desensitizing yourself to the fear. You are training your brain that this is a safe situation. When the real interview comes, you will have a blueprint of success in your mind. Let us talk about the concept of compound learning. This is the idea that learning one thing helps you learn another. For example, if you learn the root word act, you can easily learn action, active, activity, actor, and react. They are all related. When you learn a new word, look for its family. Do not just learn the verb. Ask yourself, what is the noun form? What is the adjective form? If you learn the word happy, learn happiness and happily. This multiplies your vocabulary very quickly. It helps you see the patterns in the language. You start to realize that English is like a Lego set. You can take pieces and build different structures. I also want to mention the importance of rest. Your brain consolidates memories while you sleep. If you study for 4 hours and then only sleep 4 hours, you will likely forget a lot of what you learned. You need to prioritize sleep as part of your study routine. Before you sleep, try listening to something very soft and slow in English. Maybe a meditation or a bedtime story. Let the English sounds be the lullaby that puts you to sleep. This reinforces the neural pathways without any effort. It creates a positive association with the language. Let us do a quick check-in on your posture. Are you slouching? Are your shoulders tight? Believe it or not, your physical posture affects your voice. If you are hunched over, your lungs cannot fill with air, and your voice will sound small and weak. Sit up straight. Roll your shoulders back. Open your chest. This allows you to project your voice. When you speak English, speak with your whole body. Use your hands. Use your face. When you are physically engaged, your energy level rises and your speech becomes more dynamic. I want to share a story about a student of mine. He was very shy. He was terrified of speaking. He spent years studying grammar books but never opened his mouth. One day, he decided to adopt a dog. He started walking the dog in the park, and other dog owners would stop to talk to him. They would ask, "What is your dog's name?" or "How old is he?" At first, he was terrified, but because the focus was on the dog and not on him, he started to answer. He started having small conversations. Over time, those small conversations became longer. He made friends. He realized that people did not care about his grammar mistakes. They just wanted to connect. Today he speaks fluently. The lesson here is to find a way to take the spotlight off yourself. Focus on the subject. Focus on the other person. Focus on the connection. Let us revisit the idea of questions. Questions are powerful because they invite interaction. If you are in a conversation and you do not understand something, do not just nod and pretend. It is okay to interrupt and say, "I am sorry, I did not catch. That, could you repeat it, please?" Or could you speak a little slower? please. Native speakers will appreciate your honesty. We want you to understand us. We are happy to adjust our speed. Asking for clarification is a sign of a good learner. It shows you are engaged and you want to get it right. Never be afraid to say, "I do not understand. Now I want to give you a practice prompt for the next few days. I want you to focus on the weather. It is a classic English topic. Every time you step outside, describe the weather to yourself. Do not just say it is good or it is bad. Be specific. It is a bit chilly today. The wind is brisk. The sky is overcast. It looks like it might rain. The sun is scorching. It is humid." Building this vocabulary allows you to engage in small talk, which is the gateway to deeper conversations. Everyone experiences the weather, so it is always a safe topic to start a conversation with a stranger. Moving forward in this journey, I want to take you into the realm of storytelling and deep emotional connection with the language. This is where English stops being a foreign language and starts becoming a second home for your mind. We are going to talk about the concept of the internal debate. This is a very powerful exercise for developing critical thinking in English. Often when we learn a language, we only learn how to agree. We say, "Yes, I like that," or "Yes, that is true." But real life is full of disagreement and nuance. I want you to start having debates with yourself in English. Pick a topic that is not too serious. For example, cats versus dogs. In your head, I want you to argue for cats. Say things like, "Cats are independent and they are clean." Then switch sides. Argue for dogs. Say dogs are loyal and they protect the house. This forces you to use connecting words like however, on the other hand, although, and despite. These are the connectors that glue complex sentences together. They take you from simple sentences to advanced flow. Let us try another topic. Summer versus winter. Start with summer. I love summer because the days are long and I can go to the beach. The weather makes me feel energetic. Now switch to winter. However, winter is cozy. I like wearing sweaters and drinking hot chocolate. Also, the snow is beautiful. By playing both sides, you are doubling your vocabulary practice. You are learning to see things from different perspectives in English. This is crucial for advanced fluency because it mimics the complexity of real conversations where you have to weigh options and express opinions. Now let us talk about the concept of information gaps. In a classroom, the teacher often gives you all the information. But in real life, there are gaps. You miss a word. You do not hear the end of a sentence. This causes panic for many learners. They freeze. But I want to train you to be comfortable with the unknown. Next time you are listening to a podcast or watching a movie and you miss a word, do not stop. Do not rewind immediately. Try to guess the word from the context. If the sentence is, "The man walked into the blank and bought a loaf of bread," you can guess that the missing word is bakery or shop. Your brain is a prediction machine. Train it to predict English. This skill allows you to keep up with fast conversations, even when you do not understand 100% of the words. Let us move on to the emotional resonance of words. Words are not just labels, they carry feeling. The word home feels different than the word house. House is a building. Home is where your heart is. Home is safety. Home is family. When you learn new words, try to find their emotional weight. Do not just learn the word tired. Learn the word exhausted. Exhausted feels heavier. It means you have zero energy left. Do not just learn the word angry. Learn the word furious. Furious is a fire. It is intense anger. When you have a range of emotional words, you can express yourself more precisely. You stop saying, I am very happy, and you start saying, I am thrilled, or I am ecstatic. This precision makes you sound sophisticated, and it allows people to connect with you on a deeper level. I want to introduce you to a technique called the memory palace. This is an ancient technique used by memory champions, but we can adapt it for English. Imagine your house. You know every corner of your house perfectly. Now take 5 difficult English words you want to learn. Place them in specific spots in your house in your imagination. Let us say you want to learn the word procrastination, which means delaying things. Imagine a giant clock melting on your sofa. That represents procrastination. Now imagine the word enthusiastic. Imagine a cheerleader jumping on your kitchen table. The crazier the image, the better. When you want to recall the words, you just take a mental walk through your house. You see the sofa and you remember procrastination. You see the table and you remember enthusiastic. This technique anchors abstract words to concrete locations in your long-term memory. Let us discuss the art of complaining. Now, I know we want to be positive people, but complaining is a very common social bonding activity. We bond over bad weather. We bond over traffic. We bond over high prices. Learning how to complain politely in English is a great social skill. Instead of saying this is bad, try using softer phrases. To be honest, I'm a bit disappointed with the service. Or I find the traffic quite frustrating today. Notice the structure. To be honest, I find it. These phrases soften the blow. They make you sound reasonable, not just angry. Practice these little complaints in your head. Next time you are stuck in a queue, say to yourself, well, this is taking longer than I expected. It is a small sentence, but it is a natural English thought. Let us talk about accents. Many students are obsessed with having a perfect British or American accent. They feel ashamed of their native accent. I want to tell you something very important. Your accent is your identity. It shows where you come from. It shows your history. As long as your pronunciation is clear, your accent is not a problem. In fact, many native speakers find foreign accents charming and interesting. Do not waste energy trying to erase your accent completely. Focus on clarity. Focus on stress and intonation. If you say banana with the wrong stress, people might not understand. But if you say it with a French or Spanish or Japanese accent, but with the correct stress, they will understand perfectly. Be proud of your voice. It is unique to you. Now let us go back to the idea of daily routines. We have talked about mornings and evenings, but what about the commute? The time you spend traveling to work or school is often dead time. You are just sitting there. This is prime time for English. If you drive, talk to yourself. Narrate the traffic. The light is red. That car cut me off. I need to change lanes. If you take the bus or train, observe the people. Look at the advertisements. Try to translate the slogans in your head. If you see an ad for a phone that says "Connect with the world," think about how you would say that in your native language. Then think about why they use the word connect. Why not talk to? Connect implies a deeper link. This analysis keeps your brain engaged. Let us explore the world of idioms. Idioms are the spice of language. They add color and flavor. But they can be tricky because they do not make literal sense. If I say it is raining cats and dogs, it does not mean animals are falling from the sky. It means it is raining very heavily. If I say break a leg, it does not mean I want you to get hurt. It means good luck. To learn idioms, do not just memorize a list. Learn them in context. Group them by theme. Let us look at body idioms. To get cold feet means to get nervous before a big event. To keep your chin up means to stay positive. To play it by ear means to improvise. When you group them, they are easier to remember. Imagine a person with cold feet holding their chin up. That visual helps you link the meanings. Let us practice a listening visualization with an idiom. Close your eyes. Imagine you're at a party. You see a delicious chocolate cake. You want to eat it, but you are on a diet. You decide to eat just one small piece, but then you eat another, and another. Soon the whole cake is gone. You could say, I made a pig of myself. This idiom means you ate too much. Can you see yourself at the party? Can you taste the cake? Can you feel the regret? Connecting the idiom, I made a pig of myself, to that feeling of regret makes it unforgettable. Now I want to talk about the power of music. Songs are sticky. They get stuck in your head. This is called an earworm. We can use this for English. Find a song you like in English. Look up the lyrics. Read them and understand what they mean. Then listen to the song and sing along. Singing forces you to link words together smoothly. It helps with the flow of the language. In songs, words often blend together. It is sounds like it's. Don't you, sounds like don't you. This linking is exactly what you need for fluent speech. You do not have to be a good singer. Sing in the shower. Sing in the car. Just let the rhythm take over. Let us talk about the fear of judgment. We often worry that people are judging our English. We think they are laughing at our mistakes. The truth is, most people are not thinking about you at all. They are thinking about themselves. They are worrying about their own problems. If you make a mistake, they will probably forget it in 10 seconds, but you will remember it for days. You need to let go of this self-consciousness. Realize that people are generally kind and helpful. If you are struggling, usually people will try to help you find the word. They want to communicate. They are on your team. I want to introduce the concept of the 80-20 rule. In language learning, 20% of the words are used 80% of the time. You do not need to know the word for photosynthesis to have a normal conversation. Focus on the high-frequency words first. The verbs be, have, do, say, go, get, make, know, think, take. These 10 verbs are incredibly powerful. You can express almost anything with them. Master these verbs in all tenses. I go, I went, I have gone, I am going, I used to go. If you are solid on the basics, you can navigate complex situations. Do not get distracted by rare words until you have mastered the core. Let us do a quick exercise on the verb get. Get is the chameleon of English verbs. It changes meaning depending on the context. Get can mean buy. I need to get some milk. Get can mean receive. I got a letter. Get can mean become. It is getting dark. Get can mean understand. I get it. Get can mean arrive. I got home at 6. Instead of learning 5 different verbs, you just need to master get. Try to make 3 sentences with get right now in your head with different meanings. Maybe I need to get a new phone. I got tired yesterday. I hope I get the job. See how flexible it is. Let us talk about reading out loud. We often read silently, but reading out loud connects your eyes to your mouth. It bridges the gap between recognition and production. Pick a paragraph from a book or a news site. Read it out loud slowly. Pronounce every syllable. Then read it again a little faster. Then read it again at normal speaking speed. This is like doing reps at the gym. You are training your mouth muscles to form the shapes of English words. You will stumble at first. Your tongue will get tied. That is good. It means you are working out. Keep doing it until it feels smooth. Now I want to address the issue of thinking time. In your native language, you think instantly. In English, there is a lag. You see an image, you think of the native word, then you translate, then you speak. We want to cut out the middle steps. We want image to English. To practice this, take a magazine or scroll through Instagram. Look at a picture and shout out the first English word that comes to mind. Do not think. Just react. See a picture of a beach. Shout beach. See a picture of a coffee. Shout coffee. Speed is key here. You are training your brain to bypass the translation filter. Do this for 1 minute a day. It is fast, it is fun, and it is effective. Let us talk about the concept of social scripts. Most daily interactions follow a script. When you go to a restaurant, the waiter says the same things. Do you have a reservation? Would you like a drink? Are you ready to order? You can prepare for these scripts. You can rehearse your lines. Before you go to the restaurant, practice saying, "I would like the chicken, please. Can I have the bill, please?" When you have the script ready, you feel confident. You are not improvising, you are performing a scene you have rehearsed. You can do this for the doctor, for the bank, for the airport. Predict the questions and prepare your answers. I also want to talk about gratitude in language learning. Sometimes we view learning as a chore. I have to study. I have to memorize. Change your language. Say, I get to study. I get to learn. I have the opportunity to expand my mind. This simple shift in perspective changes your energy. Gratitude opens the mind. Be grateful for the resources you have. Be grateful for the internet that allows you to listen to this podcast. Be grateful for your brain that is capable of such amazing things. When you approach English with joy and gratitude, it becomes easier. It flows. Let us try a breathing exercise combined with English affirmations. I want you to take a deep breath in. As you breathe in, say in your mind, "I am confident." Hold it. Now breathe out and say, "I am fluent." Breathe in, "I am learning." Breathe out, "I am growing." Breathe in, "I am capable." Breathe out, "I am ready." Connecting positive affirmations with your breath calms your nervous system. It associates English with a state of calm and relaxation. Do this before a meeting or a class. It centers you. Let us discuss the idea of talking to pets. If you have a dog or a cat, talk to them in English. They will not judge your grammar. They will just look at you with love. Tell your dog you are a good boy. Tell your cat you are so beautiful. Tell them about your day. I am going to feed you now. Do you want to go for a walk? This is a safe space to practice speaking out loud. If you do not have a pet talk to your plants, it sounds crazy, but it works. The act of vocalizing is what matters. You need to get used to hearing your own voice speaking English. Now I want to talk about the power of curiosity. Children learn fast because they are curious. They ask why constantly. Be like a child. Be curious about the language. When you see a word you do not know, do not just ignore it. Be curious. I wonder what that means. I wonder where that word comes from. Look it up. When you hear a strange phrase, ask yourself, why do they say that? Curiosity drives engagement. If you are bored, you will not learn. If you are curious, you will absorb everything. Find aspects of the language that interest you. Maybe you are interested in history. Read about the history of the English language. It is fascinating. Let us talk about the concept of mistakes as data. When you make a mistake, do not see it as a failure. See it as data. It is information. If you say, I go to the store, and someone corrects you to I went to the store, that is valuable data. Your brain now knows that go is irregular. You have updated your internal database. Thank the person who corrected you. They gave you a gift. They helped you refine your software. Embrace corrections. Seek them out. Ask your friends, please correct me if I make a mistake. Let us go back on the idea of describing processes. This is great for logical thinking. Pick a task you know well. How to make a cup of tea. Break it down into steps. First, I boil the water. Second, I put the tea bag in the cup. Third, I pour the water. Fourth, I let it brew for 3 minutes. Finally, I add milk and sugar. Using sequence words like first, second, then, next, and finally helps you organize your thoughts. It gives your speech structure. Practice this with different tasks. How to tie your shoes, how to send an email, how to drive a car. I want to touch on the subject of cultural references. Sometimes you understand every word in a sentence, but you do not understand the meaning because it refers to a movie or a book or a historical event. This is cultural literacy. To improve this, you need to consume the culture. Watch classic movies. Read classic children's books. Know who Shakespeare is. Know who the Beatles are. These references come up all the time in conversation. If someone says to be or not to be, everyone knows it is Shakespeare. If you know it too, you are part of the club. Let us talk about the beauty of simple English. You do not need to use long, complicated words to be eloquent. Some of the most famous speeches in history use very simple words. I have a dream, simple words but powerful meaning. Do not try to impress people with the dictionary. Try to impress them with your clarity. Use simple words to express deep thoughts. That is true mastery. If you can explain a complex idea to a 6-year-old in English, then you really know it. Now I want to give you a challenge for the weekend. I want you to have an English day. On Saturday or Sunday, try to live your life entirely in English. Change your phone language. Watch only English TV. Listen to English music. Cook a recipe from an English cookbook. Talk to yourself in English. If you live with others, tell them today is my English day. Immerse yourself completely. It will be tiring. By the evening, your brain might hurt a little. That is a good pain. It means your brain is growing. It is like the muscle soreness after a gym workout. Let us discuss the concept of active recall. Passive review is when you read your notes. Active recall is when you close your notes and try to remember what was in them. Active recall is much more effective. After listening to this podcast, do not just walk away. Stop for a minute, close your eyes. Ask yourself, what were 3 things Jessica talked about today? Try to retrieve that information from your brain. This effort of retrieval strengthens the memory path. If you just read it again, you are not strengthening the path. You are just recognizing the information. I want to talk about the importance of laughter. Watch English comedy. Stand-up comedy is hard because it is fast and cultural, but it is great training. Sitcoms like Friends or The Office are excellent. They use everyday language in situations. When you laugh, you relax. When you relax, you learn. If you do not understand a joke, do not worry. Eventually you will. The day you laugh at a joke in English is a day to celebrate. It means you got the nuance, you got the timing. Let us try a visualization of your future self. I want you to imagine yourself 1 year from now. You've been practicing these habits every day. You are fluent. You are confident. You are traveling or working in an English environment. People are listening to you. You are expressing your true self. Feel that pride. Feel that accomplishment. That version of you is waiting for you. Every minute you spend listening, every word you narrate, every mistake you make is bringing you closer to that person. Building on that momentum, let us look at the nuances of style and tone and the subtle art of sounding like a native speaker, not just in your words, but in your attitude and your delivery. Let us begin by talking about the concept of register. In every language, we speak differently depending on who we are talking to. You do not speak to your boss the same way you speak to your best friend. In English, this is called register. There is formal register and informal register. Mastering this switch is a huge sign of advanced fluency. Imagine you are asking for help. If you are talking to a friend, you might say, "Hey, can you give me a hand?" It is short, direct, and casual. But if you say that to a stranger or a manager, it might sound rude. To a stranger, you would say, "Excuse me, could you possibly help me for a moment?" Notice the extra words. We add padding to formal English to make it softer and more polite. I want you to practice this switching in your head. Let us take the concept of being late. Imagine you are texting your friend. You would think, "Sorry, running late, be there soon." Now imagine you are emailing a client. You would think, "Please accept my apologies for the delay. I will be arriving shortly." Do you hear the difference? Running late versus arriving shortly. Sorry versus accept my apologies. This is the same meaning but a different costume. One is wearing jeans and a t-shirt. The other is wearing a suit and tie. Start paying attention to this when you watch movies. How does the character speak to their father versus how they speak to their boyfriend? Note the differences in vocabulary and structure. Now let us dive into the power of linking words. We touched on this earlier, but it deserves more attention. Linking words are the bridges between your ideas. Beginners speak in short, choppy sentences. I went to the store, I bought milk, I came home. This is robotic. Advanced speakers use flow. I went to the store specifically to buy milk because we ran out this morning. However, I also ended up buying some cookies. See how that flows? Words like specifically, because, however, and also act like glue. They hold the story together. I want to give you a challenge called the but and therefore game. Take a simple statement like I want to buy a car. Now add but, I want to buy a car, but I do not have enough money. Now add therefore. Therefore, I need to save more money every month. Now add however. However, it is difficult to save because rent is expensive. Now add although. Although it is difficult, I am determined to do it. By chaining these linking words, you are building a complex logical argument. You are training your brain to hold multiple thoughts at the same time. This is excellent for your cognitive development in English. Let us talk about the art of circumlocution. This is a fancy word that simply means talking around a word you do not know. We mentioned this briefly, but let us practice it deeply. This is the #1 survival skill for learners. You will forget words. It happens to everyone. Instead of panicking, describe the function, the appearance, or the category. Let us say you forget the word for pineapple. Do not stop speaking. Say it is a fruit. It is yellow inside and brown outside. It has leaves on top that look like spikes. It is sweet and sour. Any native speaker will immediately say, "Oh, you mean a pineapple." You communicated successfully without the specific word. Practice this daily. Look at your toothbrush. How would you describe it to an alien who has never seen one? It is a tool with a handle and bristles used for cleaning teeth. This forces you to define reality in English. Now I want to address the concept of active patience in listening. Sometimes when we listen to a native speaker, they talk for a long time without pausing. You might feel overwhelmed. You might feel like you are drowning in words. The key is to relax your focus. Do not try to catch every single drop of water. Just try to catch the wave. Listen for the stressed words. English is a stress-timed language. The important words are said louder and longer. The grammar words are said quickly and quietly. If you hear, went, store, buy. Bread, you understand the sentence. You do not need to hear. I went to the store to buy some bread perfectly. Trust your brain to fill in the gaps. Relax your ears. If you tense up, you hear less. If you relax, you hear more. Let us discuss the psychology of identity. When you speak a different language, you often feel like a slightly different person. Some people feel more polite in English. Some people feel more direct. Some people feel shyer. This is completely normal. Embrace this new persona. Maybe your English persona is a bit more outgoing than your native persona. Use that. Pretend you are an actor playing a role. When you step into your English role, you are confident, you are articulate, you are brave. Give your English persona a name if it helps. When I am Jessica, I am fearless. This mental trick separates your ego from your mistakes. If you make a mistake, it is just the character making a mistake, not you. Let us talk about the why technique for extending conversations. Often conversations die because we give short answers. Did you have a good weekend? Yes. Good. End of conversation. To train your brain for fluency, you need to elaborate. Use the word because. Did you have a good weekend? Yes, because I went hiking and the weather was beautiful. Why was the weather beautiful? Because it was sunny and there was a nice breeze. Why do you like hiking? Because it helps me clear my mind. Play this game with yourself. Ask yourself a question and keep asking why until you run out of answers. This digs deep into your vocabulary and forces you to justify your opinions in English. Now let us explore the world of prefixes and suffixes. This is the secret code to multiplying your vocabulary without memorizing new words. If you know the word happy, you can unlock a whole family of words. Add un and you get unhappy. Add ness and you get happiness. Add lie and you get happily. If you know the word use, you can get useless, useful, reuse, misuse, user. When you see a new word, try to break it down. If you see reconstruct, construct means build and means again. So it means to build again. This makes English much less scary. It is just a set of building blocks. Start looking for these patterns. Pre means before. Post means after. Anti means against. Once you know the code, you can guess the meaning of thousands of words. Let us practice a visualization about confidence. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine you are standing on a stage. There's a microphone in front of you. There's an audience of people smiling at you. You are about to give a speech in English. You feel a butterfly in your stomach, but it is a good butterfly. It is excitement. You open your mouth and English flows out smoothly. The audience nods. They understand you. They laugh at your jokes. Feel that power. Feel that connection. This visualization trains your brain to associate public speaking in English with success, not fear. Athletes do this before a game. You are a language athlete. You need to visualize the win. Let us talk about the news. The news is a great resource, but it can be depressing and difficult. However, the language used in the news is very standard and clear. I recommend the headline technique. Go to an English news website and just read the headlines. Headlines are short and punchy. Man saves dog from river. President visits school. Prices rise again. Try to guess the story just from the headline. Then read the first sentence of the article. The first sentence usually summarizes the whole story. This is a quick way to get a dose of formal English without reading a whole complex article. It keeps you connected to the world in English. Now I want to talk about the sound of silence. In some cultures, silence in a conversation is awkward. In others, it is respectful. In English, conversational silence can be tricky. We often use fillers as we discussed before, but we also use back-channeling. Back-channeling is the noises we make to show we are listening. Sounds like, uh-huh, right, really, wow, oh, I see. If you sit completely silent with a blank face, a native speaker might think you do not understand or you are bored. Practice these active listening sounds. When you are listening to this podcast, nod your head and say right or I see. It keeps your body engaged in the rhythm of the language. Let us discuss the concept of shadow reading. We talked about shadowing audio, but you can also shadow text. Find a transcript of a video. Listen to the video and read the text at the same time. Then turn off the volume and read the text aloud, trying to remember exactly how the speaker said it. Where did they pause? Where did they go up? Where did they go down? This connects the visual word to the auditory memory. It helps correct pronunciation errors because you are hearing the correct version in your head as you read. Let us talk about the 3-word story. This is a fun game to play with a partner, but you can play it alone too. You tell a story, but you can only add 3 words at a time. Once upon a time, there was a big green dragon. He lived in a dark cave. This slows down the thinking process. You only have to focus on the next 3 words. It reduces the cognitive load. It is very relaxing and it forces you to focus on the immediate structure of the sentence. You can do this while you are walking. Step, 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 word, word, word. Connect the rhythm of your body to the rhythm of the language. I want to address the feeling of imposter syndrome. This is when you feel like a fake. You feel like you are not really an English speaker, you are just pretending. Even advanced speakers feel this. They think one day everyone will realize my grammar is bad. You need to silence that voice. You are not an imposter. You are a learner. You are a communicator. If you can order a coffee, you are a successful communicator. If you can make a friend laugh, you are a successful communicator. Do not measure yourself against perfection. Perfection does not exist. Measure yourself against connection. Did you connect? Then you succeeded. Let us talk about the synonym swap. This is a way to upgrade your vocabulary instantly. Take a boring sentence like, "The movie was good." Now I want you to ban the word good. What can you use instead? The movie was excellent. The movie was fantastic. The movie was entertaining. The movie was gripping. Take the word sad. Instead of, "I am sad," try, "I am upset." "I am down." "I am heartbroken." This habit of searching for a better word expands your active vocabulary. Challenge yourself. For one day, do not use the word good, bad, or nice. You will be forced to be more creative. Now let us explore the topic of sarcasm and humor. This is the final frontier of fluency. Humor is cultural. Sarcasm is saying the opposite of what you mean. If it is raining and I say, "Wow, lovely weather, isn't it?" I am being sarcastic. This can be hard to catch. The clue is usually in the tone of voice. Sarcasm often uses a flat or exaggerated tone. If you do not understand a joke, do not feel bad. Humor relies on shared cultural knowledge. It takes time. Watch comedy shows with subtitles. Analyze why the audience laughed. Was it a play on words? Was it a cultural reference? Treating humor like a puzzle to be solved takes the pressure off. Let us talk about chunking. We touched on collocations, but chunking is broader. It is seeing language in blocks rather than individual bricks. Instead of reading, I would like to go, see the block, I would like to. That is one unit. At the end of the day is one unit. As far as I know, is one unit. When you read, try to circle these chunks. When you speak, try to say them as one smooth sound. As far as now. This makes you sound faster and more fluid. It reduces the hesitation because your brain is retrieving one big file instead of 5 small files. Let us discuss the importance of handwriting. In the digital age, we type everything, but writing by hand has a different effect on the brain. It is slower. It requires more motor skills. I encourage you to copy out a short paragraph of English text by hand every day. Just copy it. Pay attention to the spelling. Pay attention to the punctuation. The physical act of writing the letters helps imprint the words on your memory. It is a meditative practice. It calms the mind and focuses the attention. I want to give you a tip about passive listening during sleep. Now, the science is mixed on whether you can learn new things while sleeping, but listening to English while you drift off is definitely beneficial. It keeps your brain in the English frequency. It prevents your brain from switching back to your native language immediately. Play a quiet audiobook or a podcast like this one on low volume. Let the English sounds be the last thing you hear. It might influence your dreams. And dreaming in English is a sign that your subconscious is processing the language. Let us talk about the mirror technique for confidence. Stand in front of a mirror. Look yourself in the eye. It is awkward, right? Now speak English to yourself. Watch your mouth. Watch your face. Do you look confident? If not, fake it. Stand taller. Smile. Use hand gestures. Convince the person in the mirror that you know what you are doing. If you can convince yourself, you can convince anyone. This is also a great time to check for tension. Is your jaw tight? Are your eyebrows furrowed? Relax your face. Speaking English should feel good. Now let us revisit the idea of immersion without travel. You can label your house, but you can also label your digital life. Change your YouTube location settings to an English-speaking country. Change your Netflix recommendations. Follow English hashtags on Instagram. Learn English, daily quotes, travel photography. When you open your phone, you should be flooded with English. Make your digital world an English world. You spend hours on your phone every day. Turn those hours into learning time without even trying. Let us talk about the concept of talking to objects. I do this all the time. I drop my keys and I say, "Oh, where are you going?" I cannot find my phone and I say, "Come here, phone, where are you hiding?" It sounds silly, but it keeps the English loop running. You are interacting with your environment in English. You are treating the world as an English-speaking world. It breaks the silence. It makes English the dominant language of your personal space. I want to talk about the power of teaching. You do not have to be a teacher to teach. If you learn a new idiom today, call a friend and tell them, "Hey, I learned a cool phrase today." Explain it to them. Or teach your imaginary class. Stand in your room and explain the difference between make and do to an empty room. Okay, class, listen up. Make is for creating things, and do is for actions. When you articulate the rule, you understand it better yourself. The best way to learn is to teach. Let us discuss the idea of English islands. If you are a beginner, speaking a whole day in English is impossible. So create islands. The shower is an English island. In the shower, you only speak or think English. The car is an English island. The breakfast table is an English island. These are safe zones. When you leave the island, you can go back to your native language. But while you are on the island, you stick to the rule. Slowly, you can make the islands bigger until they connect and form a continent. I want to address the translation trap of idioms again. Some idioms exist in your language, but use different images. In English, we say it is a piece of cake. In your language, maybe you say it is a piece of bread, or it is as easy as drinking water. It is fascinating to compare them. But do not mix them up. Do not say it is a piece of bread in English. People will be confused. Learn the specific English image. Visualizing the cake makes it stick. Let us talk about the 2-minute speech. Pick a topic, any topic. Coffee, football, the moon. Set a timer for 2 minutes. You must talk about that topic for 2 minutes without stopping. If you run out of things to say, you have to make it up. You have to lie. You have to repeat yourself. But you cannot stop speaking. This trains your fluency under pressure. It forces your brain to search for connections. Coffee is black. I like coffee. It comes from beans. Beans grow on trees. Trees are green. It does not have to be Shakespeare. It just has to be continuous. Now let us focus on the future tense. We often focus a lot on the past, but we spend a lot of time planning the future. Practice the different ways to talk about the future. I will go is for a spontaneous decision. I am going to go is for a plan. I am leaving tomorrow is for a fixed arrangement. Practice these nuances. Think about your weekend. I am going to visit my mom. I am meeting her at 10. I think I will wear my blue coat. Narrating your future plans clarifies these grammar points in a real way. Let us talk about curating your feed. Unfollow accounts that do not make you feel good or do not help you learn. Follow accounts that inspire you in English. Follow motivational speakers. Follow scientists. Follow artists. Read the captions. Often the captions on Instagram are like mini blog posts. They are great for learning natural modern English. Read the comments too. Comments are full of slang and abbreviations. Learn what LOL means. Learn what TBH means. This is the language of the internet, and it is part of modern fluency. I want to end this section with a reflection on why. Why are you doing this? It is hard work. It takes time, but the reward is freedom. The freedom to travel without fear. The freedom to understand movies without reading text. The freedom to make friends from other cultures. Keep your eyes on the prize. Visualize the freedom. Feel the freedom. You are building a bridge to the rest of the world. Every brick you lay is worth it. And finally, to truly lock in this mastery, let us talk about the concept of intuition. When you start learning, you are following rules. You think subject plus verb plus object. You are a mechanic building a machine. But at the advanced level, you stop being a mechanic and you become an artist. You develop a feeling for what sounds right. You might not be able to explain the grammar rule, but you know the sentence is correct because it feels right. This is intuition. To develop this, you need massive exposure. You need to read so much and listen so much that the patterns of English imprint themselves on your subconscious. Trust your gut. If a sentence sounds weird, it probably is. If it sounds smooth, it is probably correct. I want to talk about the beauty of English metaphors. English is a very visual language. We use metaphors all the time. We say time is money. We say he is a shark. We say love is a battlefield. Understanding metaphors is key to understanding the soul of the language. When someone says we are on the same page, they do not mean a book. They mean we agree. When someone says the ball is in your court, they mean it is your turn to act. Start collecting these metaphors. They are the shortcuts to cultural understanding. Write them down. Try to use one metaphor a day. It adds color and depth to your speech. Let us discuss the idea of maintenance. Once you reach a high level, you cannot just stop. Language is like a muscle. If you stop going to the gym, your muscles shrink. If you stop using English, you will get rusty. You need a maintenance plan. This does not mean studying grammar books forever. It means living your life in English. It means reading English news every morning. It means watching English movies on Friday nights. It means keeping your phone in English. Make English a habit like brushing your teeth. You do not think about brushing your teeth, you just do it. English should be the same. I want to explore the concept of debate again, but this time with a focus on empathy. Advanced communication is not just about winning an argument. It is about understanding the other person. Practice phrases that show empathy. I see your point. I understand where you are coming from. That is a valid perspective. I appreciate you sharing that. These phrases de-escalate conflict and build bridges. In a foreign language, it is easy to sound blunt or aggressive. Using these softeners makes you a diplomat. It makes people want to talk to you. Let us talk about the 3 R's of learning: review, repeat, reinforce. You cannot learn something once and remember it forever. You need to review it. Then you need to repeat it in different contexts. Then you need to reinforce it by using it. If you learn a new word today, review it tomorrow. Use it in a sentence next week. Write it in your journal next month. Spaced repetition is the scientific way to hack your memory. There are apps for this, but you can do it manually. Just keep cycling back to old material. Do not always chase the new. Master the old. I want to address the topic of creative writing. You might say, Jessica, I am not a writer. But writing creatively unlocks a different part of your brain. Try writing a poem in English. It does not have to rhyme. Just write about your feelings. The sky is gray. My heart is heavy. I wait for the sun. Simple but profound. Try writing a short story. The cat sat on the wall. He saw a mouse. The mouse ran away. When you play with the language, you lose the fear of it. You become the master. You are creating something that did not exist before. That is a powerful feeling. Let us talk about regional slang. English is spoken all over the world. Australian slang is different from American slang, which is different from British slang. In Australia, arvo means afternoon. In the UK, liu means toilet. In the US, buck means dollar. You do not need to use all of these, but recognizing them prevents confusion. If an Australian says, "See you in the arvo," you know what they mean. Be open to these variations. They are the flavor of the language. Do not say that is wrong. Say that is interesting. I want to give you a tip about talking to strangers. The internet connects you to the whole world. There are apps where you can do language exchanges. You teach your language and they teach you English. This is a free and effective way to get speaking practice. But be careful. Find a serious partner, someone who corrects you, someone who shows up on time. Treat it like a professional appointment. Prepare a topic. Today, let us talk about food. Next week, let us talk about travel. Having a structure prevents the conversation from dying. Let us discuss the power of no. Sometimes we say yes because we do not know how to say no politely in English. Learning to decline is a crucial skill. I am afraid I cannot make it. I would love to, but I am busy. Maybe another time. Thank you for asking, but I have to pass. These phrases protect your time and your boundaries while remaining polite. Practice saying no in front of the mirror. It is empowering. Now let us talk about summarizing movies. Watch a movie in English. Afterwards, record yourself summarizing the plot in 2 minutes. It was a story about a man who lost his job. He decided to travel the world. He met a woman in Italy. They fell in love, but then she had to leave. This tests your ability to identify the main points and connect them logically. It tests your past tense narrative skills. It is harder than it sounds, but it is excellent training for real-life storytelling. I want to talk about emotional granularity. This means having specific words for specific feelings. Instead of bad, are you anxious, lonely, frustrated, bored, or jealous? Being able to pinpoint your emotion helps you manage it, and communicating it clearly helps others understand you. I am not angry, I am just disappointed. That is a very specific distinction. Build your emotional vocabulary. It is good for your English and good for your mental health. Let us explore the idea of teaching English to your future self. Write a letter to yourself to open in 1 year. Dear future me, I hope you are speaking English fluently now. Remember when you struggled with phrasal verbs. I hope you mastered them. I am working hard today so that you can have an easier life. Seal it. Put a date on it. This creates a time capsule. It connects your present effort to your future reward. I want to touch on the sound of confidence. Confidence has a sound. It is steady. It is clear. It is not rushed. When you are nervous, you speed up. You mumble. Slow down. Breathe. Speaking slowly is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of control. Barack Obama speaks very slowly. He pauses. He is one of the best speakers in the world. Copy that pace. Give your brain time to find the words. Give the listener time to process your ideas. Let us talk about finding your tribe. You are not alone. There are millions of people learning English. Find a community. Join a Facebook group. Join a Reddit forum. Comment on this video. Connect with others. Share your struggles. Share your wins. Hey guys, I finally understood a joke today. People will celebrate with you. Hey guys, I am stuck on the present perfect. People will help you. We are social creatures. We learn better together. Now let us discuss the joy of understanding lyrics. One of the best feelings is hearing a song you have loved for years and suddenly realizing what the lyrics mean. Oh, that is what he is singing about. It is like unlocking a secret level in a video game. Go back to your favorite English songs. Read the lyrics. Translate them. Then listen again. The song will sound completely different. It will have a new meaning. I want to talk about curiosity about origins. English is a thief. It stole words from Latin, French, German, Greek, Hindi, Arabic. Pajamas comes from Hindi. Ketchup comes from Chinese. Coffee comes from Arabic. Robot comes from Czech. Knowing these origins makes the vocabulary sticky. It gives the words a history. It makes you realize that English is a global soup of ingredients. Let us do a final visualization. I want you to imagine a door. It is a big, heavy door. This door represents the barrier to fluency. For a long time, you have been pushing against this door. But today, with all the habits we have discussed, you have the key. You put the key in the lock. You turn it. The door swings open effortlessly. On the other side is a bright light. It is the world of English. You step through, you are free. You can go anywhere. You can talk to anyone. You are a citizen of the world. Hold that image. That is your reality. As we close this marathon session, I want to leave you with one final thought. Language is not a destination. It is a vehicle. Do not obsess over the car. Focus on where the car can take you. Focus on the conversations you will have. Focus on the books you will read. Focus on the ideas you will share. English is just the tool. You are the driver. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening. Thank you for trusting me with your time. Thank you for your dedication. You are amazing. You are capable. You are ready. Take these habits. Use them. Make them yours. Train your brain every single day and watch the magic happen. This has been Jessica from English in Advance. It has been an absolute pleasure. Go out there and speak. Go out there and shine. The world is waiting to hear your voice. Goodbye for now and happy learning.